This is Art Television.
නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. Homage to the fully enlightened Buddha, the worthy one, the blessed one. Dear friends in Dhamma, Buddha, one person asks from the Buddha, Anto jata bahi jata, jataya jatita paja. All beings are tangled within tangles. All beings are tangled outside. People are entangled into a tangle or net. Who can entangle these tangles? It's like a puzzle. It shows that if you look at the whole world, the human society, we are always having some sort of troubles, some sort of conflicts, some sort of difficult periods in our lives. So where does these conflicts, troubles or problems arise? Normally we might say there is a war in Syria, war in Afghanistan, there is a conflict in Myanmar, or etc., etc. But actually, the reason or the cause of conflict arises within our mind. It is sprung, it is originate within our minds, nowhere else. So, if people are having wrong views, bad views, or misunderstanding, misconception, or they are full of hatred, greed, delusion, then it is natural for us to have conflicts and struggles and troubles and problems. So how are we going to solve these problems and face these problems? I can remember very nice story how Buddha faced problems in their lives. Buddha one time visited to a Brahmin's home. This Brahmin doesn't like Buddha. He is hating the Buddha. So Buddha, when he went to his home, he began to scold the Buddha, blame the Buddha, despise the Buddha, criticize the Buddha, and he said so many harsh words to this Brahmin. The Brahmin said Buddha to those harming, very insulting, very blaming, defaming words to the Buddha. Buddha never uttered a word. He keep quiet. He doesn't respond. He didn't reply. So when he said and replied, finished the story of the Brahmin, the Buddha asked a question. Do you have any relatives, any friends coming to your home? Yes, Venerable Sir, I have some relatives in such and such a city. They will come to my home. So, what will you do when these relatives or friends are coming? Oh, Venerable Sir, I will make very nice food, very delicious food, and I will welcome them very warmly, and I will treat them very nicely. Then Buddha, suppose these relatives come to your home, but on the way they have eaten their lunch and they are not hungry. They will say, okay, we are not hungry, I am afraid, we cannot eat your food. And what will happen to the food? Venerable Sir, when they go back, I, myself and my wife and my family, my children, all will eat the food. Then Buddha said, similarly, now you give me a feast, you give me a lunch with harsh words, bad words. I am not going to eat them. I am not take them personally. I will not eat them. So you have to eat them. The Brahmin understand all the negative words, all the bad words he said is nothing. It will come back to us. So this is a good lesson where we can learn from the Buddha. If you respond only, if you are going to retaliate, if you are going to say something in return, then the conflict will arise. Buddha said, Ariyo va tunhi bhav, Dhammiya va Katha, Ariyo va tunhi bhav. If you want to talk, you talk righteous, correct, good, kind words. But if you don't have such things to talk, don't talk useless, like provoking, creating anger, any harsh words, don't talk them. So we must break, we must not break the heart of others, or we must respect the elders and disturb. We should not disturb the other people's mind. In that way, you can retaliate in nice way without harming, in a friendly way, without creating any conflicts. So what leads the conflicts? The Buddha's, there are many reasons for conflicts. One is grudge. You hold something the people or that group of people has done to you, and because they have done to you, you have a kind of grudge. And when you start a conflict, there's a foreplay, you know. You will say something and he will say something in return. Then the argument will go, and argument will increase. The sound will increase, the tone will increase. Then the first thing we can do is to avoid the conflict by withdrawing that place. Instead of facing, you can say, I have something to do urgent, I will come tomorrow, we will discuss it tomorrow, or something like that. That way, you can diffuse, you can reduce the chances of getting this conflict bigger and bigger. And also you can slower and reduce the volume of your answering. That way, the more you increase your volume, more conflict can arise, more trouble can arise, more problem can arise. So, avoid. And also another tactics we can use is say yes to his ideas and agree to his ideas, his arguments, and taking his side. That way you can pacify him, you can calm down him, you can reduce his level of anger and level of conflict. There's a very nice story. There was one chairwoman in a company, and she traveled all the way to England to do a very big business with an English company. The day she flew back from Sydney to London, and she was going to meet the director of this company. So when she went to the reception desk, the receptionist told today my boss is in not good mood. So I recommend you go back to your country again and come back again and discuss maybe when he is in a good mood. But lady was a good Buddhist. She was practicing loving kindness meditation. Never mind. I came all the way from Sydney to London to meet him. Whether it is successful or not, I don't mind. But I will meet your boss and I will talk. If he is ready and his mood is good, I will discuss. Otherwise, I will say hello and go back. And she went to the boardroom and she was sitting one corner of the boardroom and she was practicing silently the loving kindness meditation. She sent the loving thoughts to the staff, to the director, to all the people in the company and all living beings. She was waiting there maybe 10 or 15 minutes and the owner of the director, managing director of this company came to the boardroom. And he straight away asked, who is this lady? What is she doing in this company? Who allowed her to come and all that? In a very angry tone. Then that lady came towards him silently with a smiling face and told him, look, your eyes very blue and they are very beautiful. They looks like my kids' eyes. When that lady said this to the man, he was very happy. He was in angry mood, but he changed his mind and talk a little bit. Then they agreed for the terms and conditions of the contract and she got the contract. So if you want to have a successful life, you have to react. You have to respond in a different way. In a place where there is an argument, where there is a heating debate, you must listen calmly and let the flow of angry energy flow out from that person. Allow that person to dilute, diffuse this anger. And also the conflicts are arising in the society due to many prejudices, many discriminations. People think this class of people are not good, this class of people are not bad, these people are very thuggery, these people are doing a lot of stealing and all that. I remember a nice story. In America, there was a very rich man and he used to go to some business in a very poor area in America. And unfortunately, he lost his purse in this slum area. Uneducated drug addicts were there. And when he came to the office, he realized his credit cards and all the valuable ID cards, bank cards, all of them were in the purse, in his wallet. But unfortunately, he lost it. He lost the hope of receiving them. But he waited, maybe somebody will find his wallet and talk. And there was his name card inside pocket. Young boy called him. And he told, sir, your purse is there. You come to such and such street, you can collect it. And he went to see this young boy and he gave the purse. And he asked $1 from this person. Then the assistant of this big businessman told, see, he is asking money from you. He is like taking ransom or like money for his service. Then the boy said, no sir, I didn't have a telephone. I have to use a public telephone. But I didn't have coins to use the public telephone. I borrowed $1 from the shopkeeper nearby. So I used that dollar to call you. I need to repay that dollar. That's why I am asking. So we have so many prejudices. So this person, this young boy is living in a slum area, don't have a proper education, he hasn't been to school, but he had a very pure, very honest heart. That is why he returned the purse, he didn't ask any money, he didn't take any money inside the purse. So this gentleman was so impressed due to this reason, and he said, I will build a school in this area and I will support these kids to have a better education and some like training, vocational training school, so that these people can understand and learn, and they can empower themselves to make the society a better place. So you see that we have these kind of prejudices, so we have to disregard all these social discriminations, social stigma, social labeling. So it is very important for us to have this kind of understanding in order to avoid the conflict. Buddha himself was a kind teacher, and also he resolved so many conflicts in the society. One time his own relatives, the Sakyans and Kolians, his wife's side is Kolian, so both of them were gathered beside the Rohini river in India in order to make a fight. Why they are fighting? They are fighting for the water. Because that time there was a drought, the little water came in this Rohini river and the crops were drying. They want to have some water. But both sides is trying to carry the water to that side. So they were trying to kill. Then Buddha asked, why are you gathered here? They told them, Venerable Sir, we are gathered here to make a war. Why you are making a war? Then they said, Venerable Sir, we want water, the other side also want water. They break the well and they break the dam and take the water to their side. We break the dam, take the water to our side. So this is the conflict of the, this is the reason for the conflict or the war. Then the Buddha asked, what is the value of the water? They said water has a very less value, not much that valuable. Then he asked, what is the value of the human life? What is the value of the earth? They said to the Buddha, the value of the earth and the value of the human life is more worth than the water. Why are you trying to shed the blood on this earth for the valueless water? Life is more valuable, but the blood is thicker than water. Don't shed the blood in order to gain some water. So they listened to the Buddha and they agreed, and they withdraw from the fighting. And so the seed of war arises in our mind. If our mind can be made peaceful, must be build a peaceful mind. In Buddhism, we have the meditation. So peace within can be achieved. If you are trying to, the more people talk about peace, they peace-loving people, they talk about peace, but inside, but they are in reality, they are not ready to achieve peace because they are very limited in their thinking. So Buddha explained how can we resolve this conflict. There are three principles we need to apply in order to receive a peaceful environment, peaceful situation in our life. How? Intelligent person, a wise person, a good person, reasonable person will establish in morality. You see, the morality include not killing, not stealing, not harming, and not sexual misconduct, and not lying. These things will lead to conflicts, especially killings. And so if you can base your life on virtue, we call sila, and then if you base your life on virtue, secondly, if you can develop the mindfulness, then if you develop the mindfulness, you can develop the wisdom. So such a person only can resolve the conflict. The three principles: virtue, the cultivation of mind, development of the mind. Thirdly, that development mind will lead to development of the wisdom. We need to understand everybody in this world have basic needs. They need food, they need water, they need houses, they need medicine. So we must help each other to gain those things. If you are very rich, if you have too many resources, you have a duty to share these things to those who don't have these resources. Because people take weapons, people take other kind of activities, other kind of strategies to gain these things. They steal. Why they steal? Because they don't have things to eat. So we need to open our mind, understand everyone's needs, and share what we have. That way we can avoid conflicts. So value of the non-conflict is very important. But there are many ways we can solve conflicts. By interfering others' activities, we can help them to resolve the conflict. Secondly, mediation. If there's conflicts going to be happen, we need to mediate these people and help and facilitate to discuss the problem and find a solution which is agreeable, reasonable, justice and fair, that people can agree and no need to have a struggle or conflict. And also we can have an informal mediation. So these methods can take to resolve the conflicts. Buddhism always teaches us to take oneself, yourself and myself as example. If you don't like somebody come and hurt you, if you don't like somebody come and cheat you, if you don't like somebody comes and take your things, similarly, others also don't like. So Buddha always encouraged for us to take oneself as example. So Buddha said, while protecting oneself can protect others. If you hear first person, while protecting, it means he protect 5 precepts and follow good principles, good qualities, and also encourage others to develop such spiritual and moral qualities and principles. That way he can develop good qualities in others. The second person also avoid conflicts by practicing non-violence, loving kindness, and they don't try to gain or achieve anything at the detriment of others, doing any harm to others. So their life is so balanced. Their activities and attitudes are balanced. If you want to achieve things at the expense of others, at the expense of others' happiness, that is wrong. So the conflict can arise. Buddha said once, no one can become a great person by birth. If you are born to a higher caste, higher family, rich family, merely because you are born to a higher class or rich family you don't become a great person. How you become a great person? By practicing, by following good and nice principles that is helpful to protect humanity, that is encouraging human kindness, sharing. Buddha always encourage to do meritorious deeds. These are called eternal meritorious deeds. What are they? The growing trees, growing forest, building bridges, building houses, building toilets and other amenities for the people to use. These things can create eternal happiness. Why? Each moment, these things create eternal merits because these things will help other people. If you are crossing a road or a small waterway, if there's a bridge, or we call a danda, a stick between the two banks, then people can cross the small stream or the bridge. So each time they are using, they are creating good positive merits for the person who make. So Buddha explain to the people that we must make these good meritorious deeds. And if we use and misappropriate common properties and take others' properties for your own benefit, these things can make conflicts. So in order to avoid these conflicts, you can avoid these actions. If you try to exploit the weak and tramp down the weak, invalid persons, and you are strong and you defeat them, these kind of things will always create problems. So we need in the society fair share of these resources. So to reduce conflicts, one should accept righteous behavior. According to the Chakravarti Sihanada Sutta, the social conflicts can grow worse and worse because when poor are denied the resources and they used to take things and steal things, then that will increase using weapons. When you using weapons, they will increase the killing and lying, and all the morals will depreciate society. So dear friends in Dhamma, in order to have a peaceful life, Buddha said you must have a verbal communication motivated by kind words and mental thoughts motivated by loving kindness, and sharing resources equally with others, and increasing moral life and right views about the world. Buddha said samagga rama, samagga rata. Unity is love. Living in unity is the happiness. Living in unity is the peace and happiness. So dear friends, let us try to heal this world. Let us try to help this world and have a good life. So may the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha guide you and protect you and bless you. May the Triple Gem bless you.